Alright boys, welcome back to another Maybe Lewis MMA prediction video. So today, obviously, we got UFC 325 this Saturday, Lopes versus Volk 2. So I'm just go through the whole card, full card, break down the fights, and give my prediction, boys. So let's start it off, with these early prelims. We got like 4, I don't know if it's Road to UFC or what, but I don't know any of these fighters, so I'm going to just do like quick predictions for them. I'm not going to break because I don't really know them. I know like Aaron Tao, I've seen his highlights. Bat Bayard, that's a good one. But I got Tao, KO, round 1. Then the next fight, Sulan Granbo, Lawrence Louis. I got Louis, round 2, knockout. Nakamura versus Zale. I got Nakamura decision. And then Sang-Woo Kim versus Don Marfan. I got Kim decision. Now to start with the real UFC fights. First early prelim, we got Kaan Ofli versus Yizha. Yizha, I think his name is, but they just put their names together. I know Yizha, his last fight, he got that first round knockout versus Wilson. Like 30-second knockout, so he got some power. And then we got Ofli. I think he beat Ramos his last time out by submission. So yeah, I don't know much about these guys, not gonna lie, but seems like Za has some power in his hands. Ofli seems like he has good grappling. I'm gonna just go Yizha, round 1 knockout, just based off that Wilson performance we saw. I think he has enough power to put Ofli away. Now, starting with the prelims, we got Jonathan Micallef versus Oban Elliott. Now, Micallef, I remember he fought, I think it was Giuseppe in his debut. Pretty good striker. He uses his kick a lot, his jab. Kept the pace. Oban Elliott, I think he lost his last fight to Cole. He was very outsized in that one, I remember. He lost in the striking, the grappling. Elliott's a pretty good grappler, Micallef, good striker. Both young guys, I'm pretty sure. But, height's the same, weight's the same. Reach. Micallef does have a 5-inch reach advantage. I do think Micallef can keep this fight standing and use his striking just like he did versus Giuseppe with that kick and his jab and just keeping the fight at bay in his world. I don't think Oban Elliott will probably get it to the ground if he does. I think Micallef could get back up. But Oban Elliott and Micallef, they're both pretty good prospects for welterweight, but I got Micallef winning this one by decision. Just keeping the pace the whole fight with his striking, winning it convincingly. And yeah. Now, next fight, we got Jacob Malkoun versus Torrez Finney. So, Malkoun, last fight. We'll just start with Torrez Finney. Obviously, his debut, he beat Valentine. He was like 3 fights on the Contender Series, and he won all, but they weren't very impressive, either of them. He's 11-0. He beat Valentine, like I said. Not that impressive, but it was decision. He's a good wrestler. Malkoun last beat Petrosky. How did he beat Petrosky? Let me check. Knocked him out in round 2, but he lost to Brundage by disqualification. And he beat Maximov. Who else he fight? Lost to Brendan Allen. Beat Hassan Dobson. And then lost to Hawes. I think Torrez Finney is the better grappler in this one. He's not bigger. He is the bigger fighter in this one. With the, reach advantage, but he got 1 inch in height off. I just think Finney will be able to dominate in the grappling like he's been doing. We've been seeing him do. Torrez Finney by decision. Next fight, Cam Rowston versus Cody Brundage. This is pretty good, boys. Cam Rowston, he just fought his debut. Who did he fight? I forget. He fought Petrosky in his debut. He got that round 1 knockout. He's a pretty good awkward striker. He reminds me of Sean Woodson, but not really with the hand moves, just how awkward his strikes look when he throws them. But obviously Brundage. Who did he fight last? Brundage last fought Meconico. I thought that was a robbery personally. I thought Brundage won that, but Brunson just not that good, honestly. You put him against any prospect and he's gonna lose. That's why I got the first lock of the night. Cam Rowston, I think, is gonna finish Cody Brundage in round 1. Pretty easily in the striking. You know, Brundage can make it dirty maybe to get in his face, but Brundage has decent striking, decent grappling, but I think just Cam Rowston's striking is gonna be too much for him. And I think Rowston is way bigger, if I'm sure. Yeah, he's 3 inches in height, 6 inches in reach. Yeah, Cody's cooked. He's getting knocked out in round 1, and that's my first lock of the night, boys. Now, the last prelim, boys. We got Junior Tafa versus Billy Elekana. I think Tafa, who did he fight last? Lost to Tukos. Yeah. Billy Elekana last beat Ivo Aslan, I think, or someone else. But I remember he fought Guzkov on short notice in his debut, and was controlling him pretty well in the first round in the grappling. Elekana has really good grappling, and we know the Tafa brothers have 0 grappling. The Tafa brothers only win if they're put against fat slobs. So I got Billy Elekana winning this by sub in round 1 pretty easily because Tafa's got no grappling. All they got really is hoping to land that one big shot. But I do got Billy Elekana in this one. I don't think Tafa would be able to beat Ivo Aslan either. Elekana won that pretty convincingly. So I got Elekana round 1 sub. He's just going to get out there, drag Tafa down, and do what he wants with him on the ground. Now, the first fight of the main card, boys. We got Quillan Salkilld versus Jaime Mullarkey. Quillan Salkilld obviously got that head kick KO versus Hasparas his last time out. Mullarkey won a decision, I think, versus Bedoya in his last fight. Yeah, versus Bedoya in his last fight. Quillan Salkilld got who did he fight? Hasparas, and then he fought Hamoves or something at 316, I remember. And then he beat Jubilee, obviously, by round 1 knockout. I think Salkild's better everywhere. I think Jaime Mullarkey's getting killed in this one. He has no chin when he's faced against a good striker. Obviously, he got knocked out by Hasparas too. But I think Salkilld is going to knock him out in round 1. That's my other lock, my second lock of the day, of the card. But yeah, Salkilld, he has the hands, the feet, the grappling. He's just way better than Jaime Mullarkey all around. He's going to be a problem at lightweight. But poor Mullarkey is getting slept, I think, in round 1. Lock. Now, next fight, boys. We got Bam Bam Tuivasa versus Tallison Teixeira. Obviously, Bam Bam on a major losing streak, like 5 fights or something. Rosenstrike, Volkov, Tybura, Kaan, Pavlovich. Pretty bad. He's took like a year off. He was pretty big when I saw a video of him, so I wonder how he's going to look now. I think he's back to 265. But obviously, Teixeira, his last time around, got knocked out by Lewis, but beat Tafa before that. I forget which one. I think it was Justin. But Teixeira 6'7" and has an 83-inch reach compared to Tuivasa's 6'2", 75-inch reach. This isn't a good return fight for Tuivasa. I think the UFC is trying to bury him with this one and just get him out of that contract, I guess. I think Teixeira will be able to keep this fight where he wants it, on the feet. Obviously, Tuivasa wants it on the feet. But I think he's just going to be too big, too long for Tuivasa. Every time Tuivasa is going to try to get in, he's going to get cracked. And I think Teixeira could get him out of there early. I got Teixeira round 1 knockout, and that's my third lock. My 3 locks are round 1 knockouts, and I truly believe all of them will happen. But I'm hoping and praying for a Bam Bam Tuivasa knockout, and we get a shoey. I just hope he sleeps Teixeira. But personally, I just don't see it happening. I think he's going to have some rust. He's coming back versus a 6'7" demon. But, yeah, I got Teixeira round 1 knockout. And it might just be pretty easy, I'm not going to lie. But I'm just praying Bam Bam gets it done, man. I hope he gets it done. He's one of my favorite fighters. Now, next fight, boys, we got a banger. banger. I'm looking forward to this fight the most on this card. We got Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Ruffy. This is just like striking, pure striking. But obviously Fiziev last time out beat Bahamundes. Ruffy lost to BSD. This reminds me a lot of Fiziev versus Bahamundes. They're putting Fiziev up against a flashy striker. Ruffy, he's very patient, picks his shots, he's very accurate. Whereas Fiziev is more like keeping the pace, He's throwing that body kick, throwing that leg kick. I've been going back and forth a lot with this fight. This is very tough. This is just a kickboxing match, basically. Ruffy, I could see him low-key knocking out Fiziev or dropping him and finishing him. But I just think Fiziev is too defensively sound for Ruffy to where Ruffy won't be able to find that shot. I think Fiziev will mix in the grappling. Pretty underrated. He does have a lot of grappling. But I do have Fiziev by decision. I'm going with the underdog in this one. I just think it's too much for Ruffy in the striking. He hasn't really faced a striker on Fiziev's level. Ruffy's obviously a pretty good striker as well. I just think it's too high of a jump in competition. They're trying to push Ruffy a lot with the fighting nerds, But I think he's going to lose this one, and it's going to set him back even more. Wouldn't be mad with him winning, though, but I just don't see it happening. I got Fiziev by decision, just keeping it more active, body kicks, leg kicks. And Ruffy's just going to be too patient looking for that shot that he's never going to find. So yeah, Fiziev by decision. So now, boys, with the co-main event of the evening, we have Dan the Hangman Hooker versus BSD, Benoit and Denis. It's a pretty good fight. Obviously, Hooker last lost to Arman. BSD just beat Dariush with like a 10-second knockout. This is a pretty good fight. Obviously Hooker's the not the grappler, the striker. Always in your face, never backing down. BSD's the same way. He puts a lot of pressure on his opponents with the striking. He doesn't have much power. Obviously, he knocked out Dariush, but I don't think he has that much power. BSD, the better grappler. I just rewatched Dustin Poirier versus BSD, and man, BSD's a marauder. Like, I know he got knocked out, but that first round, he was all over Poirier, taking him down, drowning him. When Poirier would get back up, he would be on him against the fence, just punching him, taking him down. I think BSD got this one by round 2 submission. Hooker, obviously, he's pretty good, but I just think BSD will be too much for him with the grappling and his pace. And Hooker is coming back from that Arman loss, facing another grappler. But yeah, I got BSD by round 2 submission. And yeah. Now, boys, for the main event of the evening, we got the rematch of Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Obviously, they already fought once. Volk beat him like 48, 47, 49, 46, I'm pretty sure. Volk hasn't fought since. Lopes, obviously, beat Gene Silva his last time out, that spinning elbow. But this is it's going to be, I say, a different Diego Lopes we see this time around. First time, I feel like he was too patient, too nervous, too scared. He was like, the lights were too bright, I feel like, for him in that first time. But I feel like this time around, he's going to be more aggressive. Obviously, Volk's going to keep up with his leg kicks, his jab, his body kick. But I feel like Diego Lopes is going to be more aggressive in this one, come out straight away just trying to bang with Volk. I feel like we could see more grappling from Lopes in this one, not just striking. I could see him taking Volk down. Volk, I could see grappling too, not going to lie, if Diego Lopes gets too aggressive and taking Lopes down. But rematches never go the same in title matches ever. But I do think this time around, Diego Lopes gets it done. I think he'll finish Volkanovski in round 2. Just be all over him, too aggressive, drop him, and finish him. But this is a good rematch, People saying it's unnecessary. Say the first fight was a banger, why not run it back? But obviously Volk Might retire after this one, win or lose, I feel. Lopes, I think he'll get it done this time. Round 2 knockout, Diego Lopes. Bringing that belt back to Brazil. And yeah, that's my picks for UFC 325, boys. Look out. After this, I'm going to drop a fights to make after UFC 325. And then a reaction video to 325. And then next week, what card do we have? I think next week's Oliveira versus Batista. Yeah, look out for my prediction video for that, boys. But yeah, let me know what y'all think of my predictions. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And hope you boys have a good one. Hope y'all enjoy the card. And peace.